You could get flashes from Amazon for $40, but it has no functionality. This one is $70. $40 versus $70, and this thing has all the feature you want. So this is the Geekoto GT65C, C as in Canon. They make one in the Nikon version. If you're going to pick one up, make sure you pick the right version. Let's see what's inside the bag. You get the flash, you get the little foot, you get the manual. The manual is actually really comprehensive. It goes through all the buttons and settings. It comes with the Stoffen diffuser, a simple trigger. Keep in mind, simple trigger, okay? This thing just fires things off. It does not send TTL signal or high-speed sync. So to get that, you would need a different trigger. You would need a more smart trigger that sends the signal over to the flash. It has a built-in radio receiver, okay? And what else? It comes with a bag. So that's a lot of stuff within this thing. The bag itself has a little belt strap, got a little hook, Velcro, and then compartment for your Stoffen, and then 4 batteries if you want to carry extra, and then you would store your trigger in here. Okay. Flash itself, this thing is built very similar to the Yungnuo Godox. I don't see any difference in build quality. It's very similar to that. For $70, it is half the price of the Godox and Yungnuo, and 8 times cheaper than the Canon 600EX flash. The heads rotates completely behind you, so if you have it on camera, you can flash it behind you. Okay. Comes with a built bounce guard and diffuser. So it has a diffuser. Let's go up to the front. This is the optical for your slave. If you're going to fire off, this needs to be pointing and to catch the light so it could fire us off. It has a red assist beam, if you see here, that helps you pull focus in the dark. On the side it has a PC sync cord and a battery pack. The battery pack is great because it helps you with the recycle time, and if you're doing events, it's gonna just recycle faster and the battery is gonna last longer. Let's go through the footing. This is a simple little kind of a wheel to lock things down. I wish, that's like my one wish or complaint is, I wish it had the lock mechanism like a Canon. That would be great, but hey, $70. Coming on the back here, this is your screen. It has a built-in light, it has a battery indicator. It takes 4 AA battery. So guys, use rechargeable if you can, just to save the environment. You hear that? That is the power zoom. The power zoom allows you to narrow your focus beam. If you're on the, if you put this on the camera and you're zooming in, it'll zoom accordingly to your focal length. You could put it on manual, or you could put it on auto. Manual will take you down to 18 to 180 millimeter, so you could use that focal length. But when it's on the camera, I believe it only goes to 24 to 105. Let's talk about some of the functionality on here. TTL. TTL, any flash out there with TTL will take you up to $100. So this thing for $70, bargain. Okay, TTL is for running and gunning. I use TTL when I'm doing events. When I'm on, if I'm doing like a setup studio type, I'm going to go manual, but TTL is so versatile that, you know, I would highly recommend you get something with TTL. But always learn on manual mode. So that's what it has, manual mode, and it has 2 slaves option on manual mode also. Slave S1 and S2. S1 is if it sees a flash, it fires. S2 means that if it sees a pre-flash from your TTL, it won't fire, and then it'll fire on the main one. And the TTL, your camera tells it how much to expose for. It'll fire off as much light as it needs. Sometimes it gets it right, sometimes a little bit off, but for the most part, it's like probably about 80% right. So if you're running gunning, TTL is really important instead of you fiddling with the power level, and because you're always running around during events, when the subject moves, you're always going to have to change the power. So TTL is really helpful in that mode. And then the other option on this one is multi. Multi is just on a single trigger release, how many times it's going to fire. That's for like strobist work. If you know, like you see those pictures where you have the hammer slamming down, and it has a picture where like hammers like this in one single frame. So that means there was like 3 or 4 flashes one time within that single exposure. So this thing is a full feature flash. Radio trigger on this thing. This has a built-in receiver at 2.4 gigahertz. 2.4 gigahertz is equivalent to like these type of Canon flashes. It takes this thing has 16 channels and 3 groups, so you just set the signals to be the same and it works, guys. I think, and don't quote me on this because I don't have one to test right now, I believe it works on the Godox trigger too. Okay. Oh, by the way, so this thing, not only does it works on the channel, it sends TTL signal, and it just sets everything. It sends all the signal. If you put this on TTL, I'll flip this over to TTL. If you put it on manual mode, it'll flip it to manual mode, and then you can adjust the power straight from the camera with this trigger. So this trigger doesn't come with it, but it is compatible with it. So to get this to work with this, you have to be on slave and channel 1. So this thing has 16 channel and 3 groups. Okay, so right now if I hit there, alright, see, so keep in mind this thing does not come with a battery, so you have to get a battery with this. It's a small lithium battery, I believe, no, alkaline, sorry. It's L1028F, so it's a 12 volt battery, so you have to get the right one for it to work. It's just a couple of dollars. Just if you're going to order this and you don't have the battery laying around, order a battery. So let's talk about recycle time. The recycle time on this is 0.1 seconds to 2.6 seconds. If you're using alkaline battery, it's going to be 2.6. But if you're using like a recyclable, if you're using a rechargeable battery with a nickel metal hydride, which only provides 1.2 volts, the recycle time is a little bit slower. You're talking about probably about 3 seconds. So I'm going to do a test of full charge. This is a full power, fully charged battery, and I'm just going to hit the timer on this to get this reset, and then we're going to do it at the same time when that blue light comes on. So that was under 3 seconds. When that blue light comes on. So at 3 seconds, it's very equivalent to these Yungnuo that I have. I tested; they're about the same recycle time, and actually that's better than the Canon 430. With the 430, it takes about 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds, or something like that on the specs. So this sure beats it at full power. So this 1/8, I'm gonna just motor through it. It keeps up completely. Okay, so thank you, Geekoto, for making a really good product, bargain price, good build, and just overall allowing people to be in the price range to get started on flash photography. Guys, if that was helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button, and just give me your experience on this. If you pick one up, put it in the comments, say you picked it up and what was your experience with it. All right guys, thank you, talk to you later, bye.